Welcome to the Business Finance Bulletin, episode 123. Welcome again to the latest Business Finance Bulletin with me, Rob Warlow from Business Loan Services, the commercial finance experts. In this bulletin, the launch of the government's Help to Grow scheme, tax problems, your credit report, and banks and alternative lenders. Let's start this bulletin by taking a look at the final launch of the government's Help to Grow scheme. Now, the government is really keen to support innovative and high growth companies, but of course one of the problems they have is access to finance, hence the introduction of the Help to Grow scheme. Now, the Prime Minister launched the scheme formally in February 2015 with an initial pot of £100 million, but that was subsequently topped up to £200 million. And so finally, the scheme is now launched with the announcement that Lloyds Bank has got hold of £30 million to on-lend to its customers. So how does it work? Well, as I said, it's going to be targeted at innovative and high growth firms. So these ones may be in manufacturing, creative or technology sectors. It's also aimed at businesses who want to export as well. So Lloyds Bank said they will be providing loans up to a maximum of £2 million on standard terms, but they'll be able to have access to this special pot of money. So finally, it's good to see this scheme up and running. So if you're a customer of Lloyds Bank, or if you want to explore, just go along to Lloyds Bank and to see if you're eligible for access to this pot of money. And keep an eye on this bulletin for future episodes when I'm sure there'll be news on more tranches of money being launched to other banks under the Help to Grow scheme. When it comes to tax investigations and fines levied by HMRC, it appears that small businesses are often seen by them as a soft target. Well, that's a finding reaffirmed in a recent survey that's been carried out by the accountancy firm UHY Hacker Young. They discovered that of the £737 million raised by HMRC as a result of tax investigations and fines, small businesses took 51% of that amount. Yes, the largest proportion came from small businesses. And this is despite the fact that in terms of the overall payroll tax, small businesses only contribute 11%. So you can see that small businesses are taking a disproportionately large hit when it comes to these fines as a result of investigations. So why is that? Well, two prime reasons. First of all, small businesses are much more likely to take advantage of flexible labour, and so it's easier to get tripped up as regards miscalculating tax and not reporting it correctly. Also, small businesses are often reluctant to take the right advice and support from accountants and bookkeepers, and so again they make simple mistakes and leave themselves wide open to attack from HMRC. So the lesson there is, if you do employ a flexible workforce, make sure you get the right advice and support so you're not contributing to that £737 million. I've covered in previous bulletins the importance of knowing what is on your credit report. Now, banks and all other lenders hold great sway by what is listed on your credit report, even if you're borrowing as a limited company. You may think, well, what's that got to do with me as an individual? It's my company borrowing. No, all lenders will do searches on directors and they like to see clean credit reports. But many business owners don't know what's registered against them. Now, this has recently come out in a survey carried out by the consumer magazine Which, and they found out that of a survey they carried out, 53% of people said they've never checked their credit report. So if you're going for finance, please do obtain a copy of your credit report to make sure that there are no mistakes on there, because mistakes can happen, and if you don't know about these, they can trip you up and end up with you having a no from your bank. This came up this week with one particular lender who was clever enough to say, I've got an issue on my credit report, guys, but here's the reason why. And it was down to mobile phone or telephone defaults coming out of a contract early. They are the worst, and you may think they're only for a couple of pounds, but they can have a detrimental impact on your credit report. In this particular case, because it's been flagged up, we've been able to tell the lender well in advance. So please do get a hold of your credit report. All you have to do is go along to a credit card provider, Experian, Equifax or Call Credit, and go and ask for a statutory credit report. It only costs £2. Could save you a lot of heartache later on down the line. There's been a bit of a theme developing over the last couple of bulletins in terms of what banks are doing to help small businesses. We've seen a call from the government for banks to put a referral scheme in place, whereby if the bank has said no to a business owner, instead of them leaving the bank premises empty-handed, at least they are offered a solution or signpost to an alternative. Now, the latest bank to answer this call to put a referral scheme in place is the Royal Bank of Scotland. Now, they've already got partnerships with two peer-to-peer lenders called Assets Capital and Funding Circle, but via now their new platform called Capital Connections, businesses, and it's been piloted in Scotland, the South West and Wales, will now be able to access this platform to get 3 new partners being added. So the 3 new partners being added to the platform are, first of all, UHY, which is a short-term working capital provider, also Together, which is a secured property lender, and if you're a charity or a social group which traditionally do find it hard to access finance, well, RBS have put their own fund together called the RBS Social and Community Capital Fund. So now we've got 5 alternatives. So if you're an RBS customer and your bank has said no and you're currently in Scotland, South West and Wales, you'll now be directed to the Capital Connections site. So really good development there by RBS. Now I'm sure over the coming weeks and months other banks will start coming out with more formal schemes in which to refer their clients on if the bank can't help. So of course continue watching this bulletin, but of course if you do get a no from your bank, don't forget you can also have a chat with us. Just drop us an email, info@businessloanservices.co.uk. But a great example there of a bank listening to their customers when they're asking for help. So well done, RBS. Well, that's it for this bulletin, and thanks very much for being with me. And as ever, if you did enjoy it, please give us a like on social media. It all helps. If you're listening on the podcast version, don't forget you can watch the video version on YouTube. Just go and search for Rob Warlow. And if you're watching on the video version, don't forget we've also got the podcast version available on iTunes, Stitcher and SoundCloud. All you have to do, go along to those pages and search for a Business Finance Bulletin. So that's it for this bulletin. Thanks very much for being with me. Look forward to being with you again next time. Have a great, successful and profitable week. Bye-bye now.